What to do, good people? Welcome back to KDTV. Today we will be reacting to a video from Mike Franzese's YouTube channel. Mike Franzese is a ex-mafia enforcer. Changed his life around. Now he's trying to put some good out into the community. He has a massive following on YouTube, 1.5. I want to say a little bit over 1.5 million subscribers. And he does some fantastic work with his interviews or whatnot. This particular interview that we're going to be diagnosing today is with Big Homie CC, which is a celebrity bodyguard that's been making his rounds on YouTube. Just talking about some of the more shady things that goes on in the industry. If you are in this sector of YouTube, I'm pretty sure you done ran across some videos of his. It seems like he's credible with the information that he's given, but this particular video that he did with Mike Franzese, it's went viral. I want to say it's got like 3 million, maybe close to 4 million views, and it only dropped 12 days ago, and that's one of the reasons why I want to diagnose it, because I want to see what makes this interview so prolific to where it went viral in such a short matter of time. So without any further ado, man, we're going to get right into it. I know you ain't come here for me, you came here for the information. So again, I want everybody to have a open mind when viewing this stuff, especially with how everything's coming out right now, because of course Jay-Z just got hit with a civil lawsuit alleging that he SI'd or raped a 13-year-old girl like 24 years ago. And we don't know how true this stuff is, y'all. We got to remember that we are living in the United States of America, and truth being told, we are innocent until proven guilty. I do like Jay taking the stance of saying that, miss me with suing me for money. If this is true, just come at me with the criminal case. I think that took some cojones to say that, but we'll see how it play out, man. I'm not the person judging anybody. Let he without sin cast the first stone, so I'm not gonna be that guy. With all that being said, man, let's get into this video and let's see what makes this video so prolific.
Recently I had Suge on the phone, and and he talked a lot about Diddy, what he knew. And some of it was controversial, some of it, but hey, you know what? When I sit down with somebody, they say what they say, and I respect that, and we take it from there. But you were involved somewhat with Diddy because you were a bodyguard to somebody that went to some of his parties, correct?
Yes, sir. That's exactly how it happened.
And were you at a lot of these freak-offs, I guess we got to call them?
So here's the thing. I only been to 3 of his events. Now, when the first part of the event is a normal socializing mixer, upscale, the who's who is there, it's normal. But when you see the guy come out with the black suit and he's collecting everyone's cell phone and then inviting them to another party, which I say it's layers to it. They're inviting you to another part of the party where everybody cannot go. You see, so then that's when discrepancies start to take place, because my business is predicated on protecting women mostly, because you know how dudes are with a lot of money, man. They can straddle the fence. So once ladies in the industry know, like, oh, he's got integrity, he can't be bald, stuff like that, you get booked a lot. So one instance, I was with a lady, and she on the cover of the Gucci magazine. Beautiful lady, a real runway model. And oftentimes, when you're doing close protection work for a model, where they barely get to eat at all. And when they do eat, like they'll get like the nutrients out of it. They'll chew a grape, but they won't swallow the grape.
They're trying to maintain their figure. Yeah.
So, one glass of wine to that person, she's gonna get drunk fast.
Right.
So, my job, you gotta monitor those things. And a situation took place where it was a couple of us, and it's 4 of us total, 3 ladies, the principal and her 2 buddies. They sipped something and they started getting sick.
And this was the woman you were protecting. You were her security. Yes.
Yeah. So, my antennas go up. It led to a confrontation because I noticed that certain people knew what was going on. And the guy told me to relax, it's normal. No, this is not normal. Y'all don't know who y'all got here today. And, it led to a confrontation. I ended up getting hit with a bottle, get stitches. A couple guys had to go to the hospital, stuff like that.
Well, was it one of Diddy's bodyguards or one of his security people? Yeah.
Yeah, some people from his team.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got a team. He's got a team of people. And
so now when you say that this next group of people, this layer of group, did they go to a different location or was it at the same location?
Yes. So they ended up going upstairs. So because it's an open bar, first and foremost. Whatever drinks you want, usually the stuff that's he's contractually obligated to have normally. Any drug or narcotic you want is available. But you just start seeing groups of sex workers arrive, male, female, and you just start seeing people pairing off and start doing what they do. And if I'm in one of these events with a male and my principal is a man, I'll go wait in the car, because look, bro, I'm not here for the swinger party. You feel me? And then, you don't want to be the straight guy in a party where everybody else is rainbow, because when they start hitting on you, now you're the jerk. You never want to be that guy. You got to be a gentleman at all times until it's time to get vicious if necessary. So I never directly was paid by him or worked for him. I ended up at some of his events due to my employment, and yeah, man. A lot of strange things take place for sure.
Let me ask you a question.
Hey, y'all do me a favor, man. Hit the like button on the video, man. Trying to grow the channel. If you like this type of content, sub up to me, man. I'm gonna be dropping content like this on a regular basis. Like I said, I'm trying to grow the channel, go full time with content creation. I enjoy doing it. So do your boy a favor, man. Hit the like, sub up.
Question: if you can recall, what was the worst thing or the most off-color thing that you saw happen at any one of these events?
Okay. So now when it comes to his events, the most off-color thing I saw was 1 second he's in a suit, next second he's in a towel, and he's holding hands with two Eastern European gentlemen. And
when you say he, that's Diddy. You mean Diddy? Okay.
Yeah, and he's holding hands with these little vampire-looking guys, like they off the movie Twilight. And I knew. I said, all right, now I know what this is. I see what's going on here. It's time for us to exit. You see what I'm saying? So, by the grace of the good Lord, I was able to remove myself and my principal from there. But there's been times where I've been with guys and they're staying. I had a famous singer tell me one day that he prefers trans ladies because they have stronger hands and stronger jaw muscles.
Now, who told you that?
He's a singer. His name's Bobby Valentino.
Bobby Valentino. Unbelievable.
Yeah, so but we grew up, we never looked up to these type of people. We always looked up to the gangsters, bro. So like the gangster guys, my uncles and all of them, they would always say, man, be careful, man. That entertainment stuff is for sissies and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And so it's all about perspective.
Well, let me ask you this. There's been
also let me disclaimer, like these views and these terms that are being used in this video, I'm just reacting to it. You know what I mean? Just point blank, period. Big thing over here at KDTV is I ask all my viewers to have the intellectual capacity to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. You know what I mean? We just reacting over here. However, it do get weird. You know what I mean? I've always been one to say that it's some weird stuff that's going on that we just don't know about. And I think that living in 2024 in this information age, a lot of it's coming out. You see what I'm saying? It's all alleged though. This is for educational entertainment purposes only. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just reacting to the story that's being told right here.
Some talk that he had some drinks that were laced with something.
Laced in drinks in the hip hop, entertainment, fashion industry is a big thing.
And what do they lace it with?
Well, previously it was Ruthless. And then the onset of...
You got to forgive me, homie, but what is that? What is Ruthless?
Ruthless. You ever heard the term someone got ruthless?
Oh, yeah, Ruthless. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Ruthless was like the majority, but, you know, whenever you see guys doing a lot of cocaine, scopolamine is going to be around.
Mm-hmm.
And scopolamine, you know, once you're dosed with scopolamine, a person can take you to the ATM machine. They can say, empty your ATM machine, empty your account. You're going to empty the account out, give away all your furniture. You know, you have no control of yourself until it wears on. And it's usually permanent neurological problems that come from being dosed with scopolamine. So Ruthless and scopolamine is something I was always leery of, for sure.
Do you know if that ever happened at a Diddy party?
So I will say this. There are a lot of people in my inbox who are on active indictments toward him who are alleging that this took place. So, you know, recently he came under scrutiny because of liquid GHB. Now, liquid GHB in a very small amount can incapacitate you. Lowers your heart rate to the point where someone may think you're asleep or dead, but you're really not. So there are people in the indictment saying that, you know, he squirted them with baby oil and they passed out.
Damn.
And what do you, and in my thinking, the only reason you would want to do that is to take advantage.
Wait, they said he squirted them with baby oil and they passed out. Boy, that's some diabolical. Well, that's diabolical. Let me just leave it like that. You get squirted with some baby oil and you pass out. God, man, come on. I don't know. I mean, this is a story that we listening to, good people. But if that is the case, boy, that is diabolical, man.
To somebody, whether it be sexually or any other way.
Right. And what I've grown to understand is any man who does ecstasy for longer than 2 or 3 years, they start to become a sexual diva. This guy Combs been doing ecstasy for 20 years. And now when he was arrested with a substance called Tusi, which is ketamine, ecstasy, cocaine mixed, and is dyed to be pink.
Yes. So,
you know,
that's the pink cocaine that now everybody's talking about.
Right. He was arrested with this while being under federal indictment and being monitored. So that goes to show that there's definitely addiction involved.
That shit got ketamine, cocaine, and ecstasy all in one. Boy, listen here. Like, I've been young before, y'all. We done all been young before. We done all had party drugs. But all of that at one time? Good googly moogly. I can imagine that you'll become a deviant. Jesus.
And it's definitely a drug aspect involved as well.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever hear of science being mixed in any of these drinks?
Now, see, whenever people mention science, I get uncomfortable because over a period of 6 years, I had pneumonia 3 times, right? So on the final time, my mom takes me to the hospital. They get a toxicology report done.
Wait, big homie. You need to be, anytime they mixing anything with this alcohol and spiking it, you need to be concerned. It just don't need to be for cyanide. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a concern for anything being mixed without your consent. You know, I think you need to be concerned, period. Just not with cyanide. I understand the cyanide situation because that's some dangerous shit, you know, but I digress.
I test positive for cyanide. The way cyanide metabolizes in the human body is, after a certain amount of dosages, it turns into pneumonia. Kim Porter, his ex-wife, died from pneumonia.
I heard that.
His ex-bodyguard recently, a few months ago, just died from pneumonia. And when I first started speaking out about this, there were no podcasts. It's like 2013. There are no podcasts. Social media is really just starting to get ingrained in society. So people told me I was crazy and said I was a hater, but I work hand in hand with law enforcement in my career path. And you know, they tested my car. My car handles tested positive for cyanide. So, you know, I don't think a person will use cyanide directly at a party, but cyanide is around. I tested positive for it. I got my toxicology report to this day. So.
And let me ask you, why would you put cyanide in somebody's drink? What kind of behavior would that cause you to, you know, to be?
Yeah, so
Killing messages.
you feel like you got the flu. You feel sick. You want to isolate yourself from everyone, and your lungs, you coughing up mucus. Like, throughout history, cyanide poison was a way people got away with murder before the onset of better technology for testing for certain toxins and stuff like that. Because, you know, cyanide used to be in rat poison. So, you know, there's all type of cold case files. This person, she poisoned her husband over a series of weeks with rat poison. He died from pneumonia. You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. You know, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I don't invent.
But he gonna have everybody out here when they get a damn cold, a common cold, boy, they gonna be thinking they done been poisoned with that with that C word, bro. Like, think about it. Every time you get sick, you gonna start thinking like, damn, man, somebody laced my food with that cyanide. Like, did somebody put it in my drink? They spray my car with it. What's going on? Like, you can't even go. You ain't gonna be able to get sick no more, bro. Like, without thinking somebody that did something to you. I'm just saying, this is crazy. It's a crazy world we live in, good people.
Or embellish. I'm only gonna speak on things I can verify to be facts, and you know, I definitely tested positive for the cyanide, and I had pneumonia 3 times. I basically got 1 lung now because.
Really? So, but this didn't occur at a party for you. I mean, you didn't take a drink at one of Diddy's parties and maybe the cyanide was in one of those drinks.
No, see, because, you know, I have already been privy to certain things. So, you know, it's this footage of me with a bottle of champagne in my hand that I brought with me while I'm with models and stuff like that. Because, you know, it's a scary feeling, bro. Like, when you can look at somebody and tell they've been compromised and you can't really explain why. So once me and my team had experienced roofing on our own, we said we can never let this happen again. So we invented some new protocols. You know, if a bottle get brought to a section, if it's opened already, you gotta send it back. You know, we would travel with a portable test kit with us. You know, all type of, if people are paying you to protect their life, you know, you got to use every tool that's available to you.
Well, you know, again, without making any definite allegations or pointing fingers, it makes you think why, you know, Kim Porter would have died of pneumonia when Diddy is putting everything else in drinks. I'm not saying he did it. We don't know that. but it just it raises eyebrows. You gotta kind of think about it, you know, why did that happen? And she was relatively young, Kim. I mean, she was a young girl. You know, it's not normal that you die of pneumonia at that age.
Just not normal. Just not normal. And you know, some of the other substances that we mentioned, you know, people will still start partying off of that. Cyanide touch you, you don't want to party.
Yeah.
So, you know, you almost get a feeling like, man, something's wrong here. But you're not gonna think that somebody's poisoning. You're not gonna think that, you know. Right. But it definitely happened to me. So, and like in the work that I do to combat human trafficking, you know, I've had bounties on my life. You know, I've had the FBI showing up telling me, yeah, we got information. You know, by law they got to tell you.
Right.
So had those situations. You know, so you know, you just kind of get accustomed that you know what you signed up for. So, you know, you just try to take as many steps possible to mitigate risk and, man, and hope for the best. Be vigilant.
But let me ask you this. You know, Suge was quite outspoken. He gave me names. He said that he mentioned Obama. He said Obama and Diddy were close friends. He even indicated they had a sexual relationship together. You know, obviously he spoke about Justin Bieber and
damn, Suge. Hold on now. Hold on. I ain't hear Obama name, man. Damn, Suge, what we talking about? He name dropped Obama. That's my first time hearing that. Like him and Diddy was together. Like, I don't know. Like I said, man, over here, just take everything with a grain of salt. These ain't my words. I'm not alleging this, but just reacting to this video.
And all that. Is there anybody that you know that you feel you can talk about that was at these parties or affected by anything?
Well, so I am aware that Leonardo DiCaprio has he's having a lawsuit come up against the Busby lawyer because so right now what's happening is, so you know, when they initially raided Combs' home, they did not inform the raiding officers whose home they were going to raid.
I didn't know that.
Right. So that right there goes to show, like, all right, now, this guy have a lot of reach. He could be somebody that's been cooperating previously. So once they got their hands on that footage, you know, there have been laws passed for revenge porn and stuff like that. You can't sell someone's tape without them approving it. So, you know, from my sources, some other close protection operatives, you know, there are a lot of A-list stars right now who are doing what they can to prevent certain footage from coming out, you know. One thing Suge Knight said that I can confirm to actually be facts, because I know this gentleman's part of his security team, yeah, that they came to Ben Affleck and they said, your wife's on these tapes. So that's something I can confirm to be facts.
Jennifer Lopez.
For sure.
Yeah. On the tapes, meaning that...
That's wow.
You mean maybe videotapes, footage, whatever it is they confiscated there?
Yeah, because whenever I meet people like Combs, like, they like to keep trophies. They like to keep memorabilia from these escapades. And, you know, this is something that's a lot more common than people think amongst elite parts of society. Because, like, you know, once a rich guy realizes that, wait a second, no one's going to tell me no. You know, depending on how you're raised and your moral compass and what you believe in, you know, I've seen a lot of guys get off the handle. And I've seen Combs scream, say, I'm a savage. If I want it, I'm going to have it. I don't accept no for an answer. That let me know what I need to know, because, you know, I've done security for certain guys.
That's wild. That's wild. I'm a savage. If I want it, I'ma have it. I don't take no for an answer, boy. That's nasty work, y'all. That's nasty work. You know, it's alleged, But if he got a mindset like that, that's nasty work, boy. Like, hey, nah, man. And I'm just, I'm looking at it through a lens of, man, I got a daughter out here that got to grow up in this world, bro. You see what I'm saying? I got nieces that got to grow up in this world, man. Like, what are we talking about? You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I done been in the streets. I done did my fair share of dirt, but I wasn't no predator. Like, that's different. Like, when I was growing up, we had morals. We had codes. No women, no kids, man. Like, we weren't doing none of this deviant nonsense. We didn't have this deviant behavior. We didn't have that mindset. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm just keeping it a beam. But, it just goes to show you, like, everything ain't what it seems to be. Things get a lot spookier in the after hours, if you will. Crazy world, man.
You show up to their house unannounced, and he's in a mascot outfit, in the floor with somebody else in a big teddy bear outfit, and they dry hump in the floor. They call themselves furries.
What?
You will see a millionaire guy. He gets off by having in a furry costume.
What?
So you just never know what people are into.
Yeah.
This guy revealed what he's into.
When you say Leonardo DiCaprio, he's got a lawsuit against BuzzFeed because of something that they said with him regarding Diddy.
Yeah, so the guy BuzzFeed referenced that he had stills of a sexual encounter between Combs and an A-list celebrity with a much higher status than Combs.
See, Mike said BuzzFeed, but it's not BuzzFeed, I don't think. It's the lawyer that's representing these people that have these allegations that they're bringing in a civil court. And that lawyer name is Bugsby. So it's not BuzzFeed, it's Bugsby. That's the lawyer's name.
You're not a child, you're a man. So stop wearing so many layers to go outside and get the bearskin tactical.
I can't stand being cold.
So it's...
I got you. Let me ask you this. Heard something about Jamie Foxx possibly being involved with Diddy and on the wrong side of it. You know anything about that?
So, bro, I seen Fox with Combs on several occasions at different events. Now, Jamie Foxx's family are the ones who reported Diddy to the FBI when Jamie Foxx went into the coma initially.
Really?
So that's how that all came about. His daughter Corinne and his mom were the ones who did that. And when people come and they ask Jamie on the street, he doesn't deny it. So, at the end of his comedy special on Netflix, at the live taping, he said out of his mouth that Combs is the person who poisoned them and put him in a coma. He said, I asked my partner for an Advil. He handed me the Advil. I woke up 22 days later.
Dang.
Yeah.
Now, if you somebody knowing that, look, I got an indictment pending, I might need to start cleaning up my surroundings. You know how that goes.
Yeah. And let me ask you this. What would be the purpose, and this I've heard many times, that Diddy had people sign NDAs when they came into the party, which if there was criminal activity going on, the NDA doesn't mean anything. And Diddy should have known that. But what do you think his purpose in that was? Just to try to get into people's head that you can't talk about this? Or?
Well, Michael, I'll tell you, non-disclosure agreements at celebrity who's parties is something that's taking place on a daily basis. Been taking place like that for years. Simply because I know for a fact that in Combs' NDA, you can't say anything about what you've seen and partook in at the party until 20 years after he's dead.
Damn.
And so, how do you get somebody to do a big favor for you?
Yeah.
Invite them over, show them a time of their life. You got them on camera doing something they're not supposed to do.
Right.
You put that call in for that favor. Hey, buddy, remember that day I really need to get this person right here signed to this person. Or I really need to get this person to stop speaking on that radio channel about me naming him. That's how it happened.
Let me ask you, one of the questions I had is, how does this go on for 20 some odd years? And the reason I say that, maybe there's a little, I don't want to say resentment, that's not the right word, but in my former life, the FBI was on us 24/7. We were like, I was indicted 7 times. I was arrested 18 times. I went to trial 5 times. I had 2 federal racketeering cases, 1 state. They were on me constantly. And look, I was a criminal. I was doing what I was doing, but I wasn't doing these kind of parties or anything like that. What I'm saying is, how does this go unnoticed or unbothered, I would say, for 20 years? So my first reaction is, this guy must be an informant. He must be doing something with the government.
Yeah, man.
This is my thought. I have nothing to back that up. Until Suge said to me that Diddy's been an informant for years.
Right.
What's your thought on that?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's the same thing I be thinking too. Like, how were you allowed to get away with this shit for so long? If these allegations are true, all right, again, innocent until proven guilty. Everything that we're talking about right now, or we're hearing right now, we have to use the word alleged because he hasn't been convicted of anything. It's just charges at this point. But let's just hypothetically say that some of this is true. How can you get away with this type of behavior for so long without nobody saying nothing? It raises the question. It does. Are you cooperating, or you are, a confidential informant? When you've been on the wrong side of the tracks, you understand how things move in that world. And if you have a clear understanding on how things move, it's like, man, come on now. Ain't no way you just was in the clear this long and you was that safe. Think about all this wild crap that we're hearing right now from big homie CC. It had to be some whistles blown, but it just got muted out because of somebody's stature or somebody's cooperation, allegedly. You know what I mean? But it does bear the fact of raising the question.
Okay, so my thoughts on this is this. In your situation, you were making millions, and they couldn't really prove that you was doing it illegally. Right. So they were out to prove that you were doing it illegally.
You're exactly right.
With Combs, they know how he's making his millions. So it's like, okay, we're not going to be able to go after him for taxes. We're not going to be able to go after him for operating a criminal syndicate that's doing racketeering as the source of income. And then you're operating in a network of people where, he was the middleman. He's the party guy for the guys who really got the money. Because none of these problems started for him until he went after the liquor company that owned Ciroc. We all thought he was part owner of Ciroc. Mm-hmm. The moment he won that lawsuit, shortly after that, he sold Revolt TV. Revolt TV was his baby. It's his own network. He worked hard on that. So when I saw he sold that to his buddy, I'm like, all right now. Word just came down. They coming after him. Because you got those big corporations, you got 5 or 6, you probably got 2 billionaires, a couple hundred millionaires on the board of directors. On Combs' board of directors, it's just him. Nobody on his board of directors is going to be a real affluence to the point where, they can really go and donate to a presidential campaign or something like that. So, Combs felt like he was bigger than the program. And once he demonstrated certain activities, it led to his demise because, the human trafficking division in the United States is a small group.
Yeah.
So that's why after Combs went down, you seen the guy Reeves from Abercrombie. You see what happens down by Disneyland. They working hand in hand with other groups of law enforcement to combat this. It's $11 billion a year industry.
Yeah. Hey man, Big Homie CC is something different. He just won the Bodyguard, man. The way he's talking, his whole delivery, from my point of view, my perspective, like he was part of something bigger in this whole scheme of things. Cause he's really talking like, he's talking like he is a officer of the law. Like he got a very keen understanding of how all of this is operating. Like this just ain't no bodyguard. We've heard different bodyguards come out and they give their perspective on what they saw and things of that nature. But Big Homie CC, he's striking me more of, he's giving me agent vibes. And they just didn't know that he was an agent. Like he could be part of the task force that was tasked for infiltrating this alleged circle of deviance. You see what I'm saying? And to get said information to bring all of this about. That's just what I'm getting out of it. Now I could be dead ass wrong. I don't know, but the way he's speaking on it and the way he's so precise and choosing his words carefully and giving and painting the picture about how all this could be possibly orchestrated. Hey, I don't think Big Homie CC is who we think he is. I think he's a much bigger character in this whole orchestration that we'll call the entertainment.
Yeah.
People want to blame the majority of it on the 5% of celebrity culture. That's not the majority that's making the purchases. You can sell a kilo one time, you can sell a kid 100 times. So, once they was able to see that he violated interstate commerce laws by flying underage people on planes for sex and stuff like that, that's what led to his demise. And then once he was off the street, people feel safe now. He's a dangerous person. He's not a pushover. His name's associated with murders, various assaults, explosives in someone's vehicle. Feds say they got him actively while under indictment, calling witnesses, trying to get them to change their story.
But
they told him, you can stay on the street as long as you're not calling witnesses and your private jet is in 2 different states.
But we want to talk this nonsense about Diddy, man. But Diddy wasn't nothing to be played with out here, boy. Yeah, we joke. Take that, and he want to party with you and things of that nature. But boy, Diddy was a real life goon out here. If all these allegations are true, boy, he wasn't somebody that you really wanted to cross out here, man. Like, damn, boy, it's wild. Now I see why this video went viral the way it did, because this one hit different. I've seen several different videos of Big Homie CC being interviewed, but this one right here, it's like Big Homie CC is really laying his cards out and playing spades face up. To me, in my opinion. But yeah, if these allegations are true, boy, Diddy was truly a bad boy.
This guy standing on the street with a sucker.
Yeah.
And a group of young girls, they're excited to see him. Then that plane came to New York. They picked him up. They picked him up immediately.
Utility providers don't want you to know about this trick to warm up houses for practically zero cost.
You think he's going to stand up in all of this? Or you think he's going to cooperate? You think he's going to give up some of these big names? Yeah. Hey, listen, I'll tell you this, homie. I was in the exact same prison on the same, it should be a jail rather. I was in the jail where Epstein was. I was on that tier. I was in those cells. There's no way in my mind that you're going to commit suicide. No way. You can't do it. They're watching that tier all the time. The cameras are on. For everything to go off at one time, it would still be hard for him to commit suicide because there's nothing there. There's nothing on the ceiling. The bed is this high. You couldn't do it. So my point is, you know, I think they got rid of Epstein. I'll swear to that. I don't know what's going to happen with Diddy.
It's listed in the Epstein investigation that on the day that he died, the cameras were not working on that tier.
Right.
You know what that means.
Absolutely.
And I don't feel like the average American understands how cheap the price of life is now.
Well, he said something then, boy. He said he don't think the average American. He said the average American don't understand how cheap the price of life is now. What is he saying, bro? It's easy to get somebody off. You might think I'm lying. Like, trust me, it's like that in the hood. Like, you might think, you know, for the average person, if you walk up to the average person that doesn't have any ties to the street, don't know nothing about their life, yeah, that person might say, yeah, man, it ain't no, you can't put a price on a human life. Like, it doesn't matter how much money you give me. I'm not willing to take somebody else's life. Boy, it's some folks out here that'll do some nasty work for a very cheap price, bro. I'm talking about 2 and a baby will get you out of here. 2 ounces and a quarter will get you out of here, sir. $3,500 will get you out of here. Straight up. Less than that. Bragging rights. Throwing up the wrong hood in the wrong area. Like, wearing the wrong colors. Like, what? There is no value. Like, our generation, in my age group, we understand that life is precious. It's value on life. Like, it's priceless. The generation behind us, those generations, what's Grand Theft Auto out here? It's Call of Duty. They thinking it's a respawn. No, sir. I'm telling you, the price of life these days is very, very cheap. So be cautious. That's why I try to tell people, be safe, be productive, and be blessed out here, man, because we living in a different world now, people.
They said that 1,000 bottles of baby oil, allegedly some of the bottles tested positive for liquid GHB. So if we do the math on that, 1,000 bottles, 8 ounces, what's that, 54 pounds of GHB?
Mm-hmm.
Mandatory life sentence.
Right.
$58 million bail package denied.
Mm-hmm.
All of the prosecutors on that case are women. We also seen the mayor, Eric, get indicted.
Right.
FBI was trying to save face before the election to not get disbanded. So they did what they did, racked up some big cases, locked some people up. Combs is gonna have to give up people if he ever wants to see the light of day again. He's facing several life sentences. And he don't have murders he can give up. But if he does, he will. So January 20 was a trial start May 25th.
Yeah.
We gonna see some interesting things start to take place before then. Then you see they come in, season his notes. He get a little win in court. They gotta destroy the notes they took.
Yeah.
He wants to change his jail because he knows he can get Epstein in there.
Yeah, you know, my thinking is he either disappears, meaning some kind of accidental death, number one. Number two, he cooperates and gives up somebody that law enforcement might think is more important than him, or he goes to jail forever. I mean, it's going to be, I don't see him standing up. Let's put it this way.
I don't see that either because Why would you as a billionaire need automatic rifles with defaced serial numbers?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you need that? You're doing things you're not supposed to be doing. And I feel like there is another criminal drug dealing element that they working on, because when they first stopped his plane, they arrested his mule. And then when they arrest you again, you still got drugs on you. You operate, that's operating like somebody who's been cooperating.
Yeah. So Suge saying that he's been cooperating is not too far off in your opinion.
Not too far off at all. Not too far off at all, because Keefe D is in Las Vegas, is in Clark County right now, and he's saying Diddy the one paid us to kill Tupac.
Really? Yeah, he did say that. Yeah.
He said that.
You know,
He said that.
allegedly the feds have a list of people that he's responsible for their demise.
Mm-hmm.
They also said they have him on camera at his residence assaulting a male sex worker. How out of control are you? You paid this person to come here to have sex. You got a...
Yeah.
I know a dude, bro, personally, who he said he's out to eat with Combs, his sons, and some other people. And the topic came up, how much money would it cost for you to suck a penis? He said, man, I need at least $100,000. He said to me, he said, Combs said $100,000? Right now, you would do it. And he said, man, I was just playing. But he said Combs wasn't playing.
Guy's a deviant without a doubt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, it's amazing.
Man, it's wild, man.
As
like,
much as I've seen.
Like, bro, man, if these allegations are true, man, Diddy was out of control, y'all. And I ain't wishing bad on him. I don't know. Again, I'm not the one passing judgment. That he, without sin, cast the first stone. But if these allegations are true, what Diddy was wild out here, man. I'm talking about he was the chief of nasty work. My goodness.
Seen and been through in my life and witnessed. I don't understand how somebody gets this crazy and out of control.
I'm telling you, it's the ecstasy.
Gotta be.
Brother, I promise you. I distinctly remember what the streets of Chicago were like before everyone was taking ecstasy on the weekend.
Yeah, that ecstasy.
Then it went to now people use.
Ecstasy was a rough drug. I ain't gonna sit here and lie, and I'm talking from experience. Like, I ain't no way I went to this extreme, but I just remember how wild we were when ecstasy first hit the streets, man. Like, I'm being honest with you, and I'm 44 now, so I'm going back 20 years, 24 years. Like, well, we were wilding out here, man. Like, we had a reckless abandonment that was bad. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, I can't sit here and, be the guy that think I'm holier than thou. No. Now, have I ever did anything like what we talking about? Well, what like they're talking about right now? Shit, no. See what I'm saying? Like, again, we had morals, we had codes, but we would try something. I'm talking about, gangster shit though. I'm talking about street shit. You see what I'm saying? I remember how wild we used to be in the clubs or whatnot. Like, we would lit fuses out here. It wasn't nothing to get the sticks and get the poles and spark off just because somebody stepped on your shoes. You see what I'm saying? And the mood swings that you would have on those type of drugs. Like, I'm being honest, bro. It's not far-fetched. And then you talking about being on that shit for 2 decades? Man, shit.
This is a daily habit. Guys I thought were upstanding was getting caught with trans people. I seen this.
That's crazy work, boy.
I remember.
That's crazy.
What the streets was like before the internet. I remember before the pills became a thing. It definitely played a role for sure.
Definitely.
And like, you know, and I always say this, like a man who's not raised with like some sort of gangster principles, only thing he really has to believe in is his wants and needs.
Yep.
You know, being in your position, being in my position, when you want to form a leadership, you know, there's certain things you know you can't do.
Facts.
Because, you know, they call me big homie. You gotta earn that.
Boy, he's speaking now. You gotta earn these titles, man. Like I'm Unc out here now. You see what I'm saying? And I love it because I earned that title. You see what I'm saying? I grew up on code. I grew up on principle. My moral compass has never been off. Like I done did some crazy shit out here, but hell, I grew up in the hood. I grew up a gangster. You know what I mean? Just point blank period. I'm retired now. I'm a straight civilian, and I'm trying to do my best to clean up the dirt that I've done in my lifetime. You see what I'm saying? I think that big homie, he the same way. Mike that's doing the interview, he the same way. Like at some point, you have to understand that, yeah, I did what I did, but damn, I see things clear now. I understand the damage that I've done. And you can make shit right. You know what I mean? And you might be that type of person that's looking at this video right now. That's your sign. Like, bro, it ain't too late. You see what I'm saying? But if you ain't got nothing that you believe in except for your wants and your needs, you're a dangerous person. A person that's like that is a very dangerous person, man. You need to check yourself and check yourself quick.
So, you know, I can't be doing the same thing the little homies is doing.
Right.
When they in the living room talking to the females, I'm in the room with the door closed because then now the lines get blurred now.
Mm-hmm.
Are you one of us or are you our leader?
This is what's most important.
I like
it's not
that.
this car. It's this.
He absolutely
peace,
right.
love, and cat.
He absolutely right with that.
That's why when you see Combs, the people that's coming after him was always, everyone's younger than him. There's nobody older than him. The people who could have really combated him have died under strange circumstances. You know, this is the only industry we see where people have interns. They'll come work for years for free for the thought of having a big career.
That's why they don't want rappers, man. You can't tell me it ain't no rappers my age that's dope with the lyrics. I'm talking about that can really put some music out that can be generational, that can really change the thought process. But they don't want us around like that. You look, bro, if I got homies right now that's still in the streets, man, that hate to see me come around because I can't relate to the shit that they talking about no more. And when I open my mouth and talk, I'm talking on some righteous shit. You see what I'm saying? But they don't want to hear that. They look at me like, oh, here he come talking this shit, man. Nobody want to hear all this righteous ass shit. You see what I'm saying? And I get it. Hey, I get it. You see what I'm saying? Because if I was still with the nonsense, I wouldn't want nobody. I wouldn't want to hear no righteous ass talk. Man, I'm still with the shit, man. Go on with that, man. You see what I'm saying? That's facts. But I think that's the reason why they don't want older rappers, the ones that have been through the trenches, that corrected their ways, and now we're trying to be positive leaders out here in the community. But the industry don't want that. No. Because now you're getting called out on your bullshit if you still with the bullshit.
You can't. You're not gonna be an intern at Walmart.
Yeah.
It's all about taking advantage of people. That's why I've been going back and forth with these people for years.
Let me ask you, change your gears a little bit. R. Kelly, you grew up with him, right?
Grew up around him for sure.
Yeah. What kind of guy? He's got his hands full now, for sure.
Now listen, I swear on my mother, I never liked this dude. The people in my family and my church, they were saying, why are they bringing this pedophile in here? They were saying this years ago. You know, I know dudes who took their daughter to him for voice lessons. He go pick his daughter up. He got $50,000 cash with him now.
It's crazy.
That's the thing, bro. Like these people all were getting enabled in different areas.
That's crazy.
You know, like in my family, people knew. When they come to my little cousins, my aunties, and I'm like, man, it's gonna be heinous consequences for you.
What you say,
if you
boy?
decide that you want to try to oppress any of these people right here.
What you talking about, boy?
These guys, they hiring security. They feel invincible. You know, just like I know that in certain organizations, there are rules.
Yep.
And I heard you say something before that you say they'll never get me in a room again. These guys don't have that. Nobody can call them into a room, and it could be graveyard consequences. They don't have that.
Yeah.
Now operate underneath that, and they got unlimited money, and everybody want to be a celebrity.
Yeah, the problem, homie, they're not accountable to anybody but themselves.
Right.
And that's a big problem.
And accountability, as you know, is very important in life. You have to have accountability, whether it be to your faith, your boss, yourself. Without it, there's no rules, and eventually you're going to go down. You're going to get in trouble for it, and that's what happens. I think Diddy the same thing. He was accountable to nobody. At least he thought he wasn't, until it catches up with you.
Until it's just too late.
Yeah.
And you know, Dapper Dan said that he grew up with Combs' parents. And he said what's going on with Combs didn't start with Combs, it started with his parents.
Really?
So that's what Dapper Dan said. So got to keep all these things in mind, man. Like I never harmed nobody who didn't deserve it. You know, I stand by that. You know,
Thanks.
People coming out saying that he ruined their life. As men, we can choose our actions, but we cannot choose our consequences.
Thanks.
So right. But you got very interesting background. I think we both do, different ways, but very, very interesting. I understand you knew about me before this call.
Yes, for sure. So, you know, growing up in the inner city of Chicago, you know, Italian culture, Sicilian culture, you know, those type of things are very prevalent in the city.
Yes.
And especially from the omerta aspect of, you know, operating in the underworld of sorts. You know, a lot of Chicago Black street organizations mimicked and modeled themselves based off what they seen you guys doing, mostly on a theatrical standpoint, though.
And it's just not in Chicago. Like it's like that down here in the South, Alabama specifically. Like the way we grew up, we mimicked the way that the Sicilians handled their business. It was codes. It was this thing of ours. You know what I mean? And I think that, you know, it's not justifying the actions that we were participating in, but regardless of what you do, you still have to have codes, rules, accountability. Like you just can't be out here all free nilly-willy doing what it is that you want to do and think that you're bigger than the program. You're not. You see what I'm saying? And I really and truly think that that's what happened with these celebrities. They thought they were bigger than the world. And ultimately, you're not.
In other words, you were influenced by some of the movies about our life and some of the characters that you might have bumped into or seen on the street in Chicago. Because Chicago is one of my favorite cities. Have a lot of friends there, and obviously we had a big presence in Chicago, as you well know.
For sure, and you know, I've had some interactions with some actual figures from that lifestyle. So you know, in my community, bro, like a lot of things we did, you know, we considered it mob style, mafioso type of activity. So, you know, definitely honored to be here. Thanks to my boy Reese for locking this in. And I did my 10,000 hours of research for sure.
Well, homie, let me ask you this, because this is something that's been bugging me for a while with Chicago. all of this stuff that's going on there, all of this gang warfare, it's disappointing and frustrating to me that nobody has gone in there and tried to clean it up. When I say clean it up, a lot of stuff, you know, with these young guys in the street, they're just uninformed, uneducated, and nobody's paying attention to it, and people are dying, you know, on a weekly basis there. What do you think? And, you know, having come from there and some experience there, how do you think we help those young men? We help clean that up, so to speak, so people are not dying every weekend?
Very, very profound question. So here's the thing. There used to be leadership and infrastructure with all street gangs in Chicago. There was a time, and I remember, when you needed permission if you were going to go shoot somebody. You needed permission. Like if you wanted to commit a murder, it had to be sanctioned. People had to approve of such. So throughout the process, where law enforcement had this war on drugs, a lot of the infrastructure and leadership was removed. So it just left madness. So then when certain gentrification took place, project housing was torn down, then they moved those families into the south suburbs. So now you got people operating on a certain mentality getting moved throughout the city, which just led to nonsense and madness because it's blood feuds. You know, and in Chicago, people believe in eye for eye.
Show your daughter how much you love her with this
Big
beautiful gift.
Big facts. Listen, we're gonna stop it right there. I know I'm probably about an hour in at this point. And yeah, I am an hour in. But I thought that was a prolific video, me personally. Like I said, I wanted to see why that particular interview went viral, and I think I got my answer. It was very engaging for me, enlightening as well. And again, you know, we can't be disparaging and just say that, you know, Sean Combs is guilty of all this, is innocent until proven guilty here in the United States of America. So everything that's being said or spewed is alleged. But it's one hell of a time to be alive, man. I'm being honest with you. You know, what happens in the dark is gonna come to the light. And I'm a firm believer of you can't heal what you don't reveal. You know what I mean? And I think it's understood that here in America we have problems, but you can't get medicine for your sickness unless you tell the doctor what exactly is going on with you. You know what I mean? So that's the reason, you know, I'm making videos like this and reacting. I think that's the reason why you see interviews like with Mike Franzese here and big homie CC, just bringing light to certain things that could possibly be major issues in our community. You see what I'm saying? And I believe that the future is bright for us here in this country, but, you know, we have to be accountable. We have to hold ourselves responsible. You know, it has to be consequences. Yeah, I'm responsible for my actions, but the consequences behind those actions, that's out of my hands. You know what I mean? I think that we need to look at life in that aspect, especially moving forward, because it's not about us. It's about the future. It's about the future generations. The things that we do now are going to have catastrophic effects or going to be super beneficial for our kids and their kids. You know what I mean? So we have to take long, hard looks at things like this and, you know, adjust as needed. So with that being said, man, I'm finna get on out of here. If you made it this far, like, share, and subscribe, man. Until we meet again, good people, be safe, be productive, be blessed. This is KDTV. I am your host, Keith Daniel. Peace.